I made a fake one.
Let's take you back to February 20th, 2021. That is the day that Dino Fury premiered on Nickelodeon, and we had no idea how much of a ride this show was going to be. This was one of the best Power Rangers seasons we have seen in a very long time. It was actually the last season on Nickelodeon with season 1, and season 2 was the first season on Netflix. And we already got to see some small changes in between those network switches. And today we wanted to give you a series review on Dino Fury. Now that the series has been out for a few weeks now on Netflix, I thought it was only right that we went over every episode of Dino Fury and at least talked about it somewhat, talked about what we liked, what we didn't. But honestly, I'm not a hater on this season. I understand that this is a kid's show, but they tried so hard to give back to the fans in these episodes. And I see that, I appreciate that, and I'm really in love with what they're doing. And if they can take this formula in Dino Fury and maximize it into Cosmic Fury and beyond, I'm excited. I think that this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we can really do with Power Rangers. And I think it is a great time to be a Power Rangers fan. So let's get into it. Let's take you back to episode 1, season 1, Destination Dinohenge. 65 million years ago, the evil Sporix beast ravaged the planet Rafcon before traveling to Earth. 6 Rafconian knights followed them, and together with 6 dinosaurs were granted the power to become Dino Fury Power Rangers by the Morphin Masters. All but one seemingly fell in battle as the Sporix were captured, while the savior, the Red Ranger Zato, went into a stasis. In the present, reporter Amelia Jones tricks her boss, Jane Fairview, into letting her do a story on the mysterious Dinohenge statues, while secretly hunting for ghosts. There she encounters mother and son, Dr. Akana and Ali Akana, who discover a hidden chamber underneath the statues. They run into Warden Garcia, who wants to kick them out of the park for not having permits. While Dr. Akana accompanies the warden, Amelia and Ali witness a mysterious warrior named Void Knight enter the chamber, searching for the Sporix before a cyborg dinosaur named Solon tries to stop him. Ali and Amelia defend Solon, becoming the Blue and Pink Rangers in the process, respectively, before Solon reanimates Zato. He intervenes but accidentally unleashes the Sporix, forcing Void Knight to retreat. After telling Ali and Amelia what happened to him, Zato offers to train them in their newfound powers. This actually was a pretty well put together first episode, and one thing that I remember watching this that I really liked was it wasn't all about the Red Ranger at first. He was just in a stasis. It was just about 2 Rangers, 2 characters really, and they were trying to build on that. They weren't trying to force a bunch of Rangers at once. It was kind of cool how it all worked, because for the first 3 episodes, you just had those 3 Rangers. But kind of for the first 18 minutes of the 20-minute episode of episode 1, it was just Ali and Amelia. Zato came at the end of the episode, but he was in the stasis the whole time. So it was kind of cool that we got some early development onto those 2 characters that were going to be key parts going forward into this show and this series. It was actually a well put together first episode, and I love this. And hey, if you guys want to see any of these descriptions, these are all just on Wikipedia. The fans put these together. They're basically just the write-ups of the show, but if you guys want to look at these, go ahead and type that in. Just Dino Fury Wikipedia. Sporix Unleashed was episode 2, and it's while restoring Dinohenge's defenses, Solon finds Void Knight's energy scanner. Ali wants to combine it with Dr. Akana's drone to find the Sporix quickly. but Zato prioritizes warning the city of Pine Ridge to minimize casualties. Ollie disagrees, but the Rangers fail to convince anyone, so Ollie breaks off to implement his idea. After the other Rangers learn that a Sporix beast named Mucus has hatched, he leaves Dr. Akana to join them. The Rangers defeat Mucus, but another Sporix beast, Shockhorn, attacks them before escaping with Mucus. Returning to Dino Henge, Zato and Amelia learn what Ollie did and return to Dr. Akana, who Void Knight and the Sporix beast have forced to help them. As the Rangers fight Void Knight and Shockhorn, Dr. Akana overpowers Mucus and destroys her drone and the scanner, forcing the villains to retreat. When Shockhorn grows into a giant, Solon deploys the T-Rex Champion Zord so Zato can turn the monster back into a Sporix. The Rangers attempt to reclaim it, but the Void Knight steals it and takes it to the abandoned Area 62 to power a machine he is operating. Afterwards, the Rangers address Zato and Ollie's concerns by establishing a Ranger hotline. So it was kind of cool. You got to see the Ranger hotline. This was the first time we got to see that Sporix machine that is powering up you know who. We all know that Void Knight is trying to save his wife, his girl that's in that tube. And he's trying to get Sporix to power it. Very cool episode. I remember watching this being like, what is this? What is he trying to do? I loved how they made these episodes connect right off the ripper. Very cool. And speaking of, a connection, Lost Signal. This was a very good episode looking back. And it was funny because watching this, I think in one of my videos from about a year ago, year and a half, we talked about Lost Signal, saying this might be an episode that down the line we could talk about again. And it really is, man. Let's get into this one, episode 3. As Zato reminisces about his life on Ravcon, Solon receives a message from the galaxy Ravcon is in, but her modulator is destroyed and she is unable to fix it. He starts to lose hope, but Amelia and Ollie suggest they see a psychic and the observatory, respectively, to find out if they can decipher the message. Zato agrees, but the psychic proves to be a fraud. Suddenly, a Sporix beast called Vipera attacks. While the Rangers confront her, she overwhelms them before escaping with Mucus. Upon recovering, the Rangers try the observatory but fail to learn anything. A crestfallen Zato returns to Dino Henge while Ollie and Amelia investigate a disturbance at her workplace, Buzzblast, where everyone present is paralyzed by a video Vipera and Mucus created. Remembering a fond memory of his mother, Zato confronts Vipera with a blindfold and a Dino Boost key that enhances his hearing so he can destroy Vipera's video. When she enlarges, Solon deploys the T-Rex Champion Zord, the Tricera Blade, and the Ankylo Hammer Zords, so all 3 Rangers can defeat Vipera and reclaim her Sporix before Void Knight can. This was a fun episode, actually. I liked you got the throwback scene with Zato and I think his dog and his mom. It was super cool. And then I like how they went to the psychic and it says here that she's a fraud. But technically, is she a fraud, my friends? Because didn't she say that her people are looking for Zato or Zato's people are looking for him or something, paraphrase like that? And didn't she tell that Ollie and Amelia that she sees love and happiness in their future? Like, ha ha ha. Is she a fraud? That could be a whole episode on its own. We need to find that psychic, man. This was a really good episode. This was the first time that we got an actual Megazord team up In episode 2, you just got the T-Rex Champion Zord. In episode 3, you got to see the Blue Ranger Zord and the Pink Ranger Zord. I thought it was really cool. Then you move on to episode 4, New Recruits. And this is where you get to see some new blood, new Rangers. I love it. Now, I absolutely love this episode. I like how they brought these characters in. Now, let's get into it. Episode 4, New Recruits. Void Knight sends Mucus, Sporix Beast, Draknog, I probably said his name wrong, and his new robotic general, Boom Tower, to steal an orb from the City Museum to make Boom Tower invincible. Meanwhile, Zato applies for a reporter job at BuzzBlast, but goes up against a musician, Javi Garcia. As such, Jane sets them both a reporting task for their application. Javi must study the orb, while Zato must interview Javi's athlete stepsister, Izzy Garcia. However, Javi's interview is cut short when the orb is stolen, and Zato must end his to stop the monsters. During the battle, Boom Tower drops the orb, and Javi steals it while Izzy helps the Rangers locate him. And the Rangers rescue the siblings from Boom Tower. Javi smashes the orb, which contained the lost green and black Dino keys. Izzy and Javi bond with them and turn into the green and black Rangers respectively. The 5 Rangers force Boom Tower and Mucus to retreat. While Draknarok enlarges, the Rangers summon the Dino Fury Megazord to defeat him and reclaim the Sporix. After introducing Izzy and Javi to Solon, the Rangers return to BuzzBlast, where they learn Javi got the job. This was actually a fun episode and a great way to introduce these characters. You got to see Javi a little bit step up and kind of steal the orb away from the Sporix Beast. You got to see Izzy and her field and her background and that sports. You got to see her out in the track working out, and really that plays a big role in the future of her. And this was a nice introduction episode. I really liked this one. Then you got episode 5, Winning Attitude. While Solon works to find Izzy and Javi's missing Zords, Izzy trains for a cross-country race with her athlete cousin, Lily, but ends up becoming too determined to win and brushes her off. Meanwhile, Void Knight, his minions, and Sporix Beast, Brine Blast intend to destroy the Zords. On the day of the race, the villains initiate their plan, forcing Izzy's allies to leave to confront them. During the race, Izzy helps an injured rival, Fern, but loses her lead. She later stumbles upon Boom Tower and Mucus, who reveal their plan to destroy the missing Zords with a bomb to her before escaping. Joining the battle, Izzy helps her comrades against an enlarged Brine Blast, during which they trick the beast into unearthing the Tiger Claw Zord before the bomb explodes. With the new Zord, the Rangers defeat Brine Blast, but Boom Tower claims his Sporix. The Rangers return to the race, where Izzy, despite finishing last, is praised for her good sportsmanship and reconciles with Lily. I like this one, man, and the reason why I like this one, the lesson of the day, it was cool. It was one of those episodes, but I really liked that you got to see Izzy and who she is, and you get to meet Fern. And this is one of those episodes that kind of is just the beginning. It sets the tone and sets up situations later down the line. And I liked right away, her and Fern didn't get along. They were competitors and they wanted to beat each other. And that was all that was on their mind until Fern got hurt, and then Izzy came and saved her. And, you know, later down the line, they end up dating. So it's good character growth. I like how they wrote Fern in here. Really good episode, man. We're only 5 episodes in just reading these, and it's bringing back all the memories of what I really liked about these. So episode 6, Superstition Strikes. While the Rangers investigate BuzzBlast for Sporix activity, Amelia suffers an accident and believes she is jinxed. Following this, she ends up suffering more accidents when she attempts to engage Sporix Beast Smashstone, during which she loses her morpher to Mucus. Using the morpher, Void Knight plans to access Dino Henge and steal the Ranger's Sporix while Smashstone distracts them. Meanwhile, still traumatized by her bad luck, Amelia opts to not join her comrades in battling the monster. However, Solon helps her focus on life's positives before Amelia foils Boomtower's raid and forces him to retreat. Joining her comrades to fight an enlarged Smashstone, Amelia formulates a new Megazord formation to defeat Smashstone, with Izzy claiming the Sporix before Boomtower can. Now, this was one of those episodes that was kind of introducing Pop and Lesson of the Day. It was a fun one. It was, of the episodes, I think this was like one of the more weaker ones, but I did enjoy this one. I did like it, but it was like the bad luck episode where she just thought she had bad luck the whole time. It was not a bad episode, but the next few episodes do get a little bit better, but not a bad episode at all. Episode 7, Stego Search. Solon works to locate Javi's Zord while he gets his keytar confiscated by his father Carlos, which sours his attitude. Izzy tries to approach Javi when Boomtower, having used a Sporix to strengthen himself, attacks the city. The Rangers head out to engage him, but are overpowered, with Izzy being injured. The Rangers later discover why Javi was acting distant and that his Zord responds to his music. Ali, Amelia, and Zato are sent to engage an enlarged Boomtower while Javi finds his Stego Spike Zord in the forest and sends it out to aid them. With their new Zord, the 4 Rangers defeat Boomtower, forcing the enemy to retreat. Afterwards, the Rangers give a new keytar to Javi, who apologizes to them for being reserved about his issues. I actually liked this episode, and this was one of those where I was like, okay, I didn't know what they were trying to make Javi into being, and I really liked this because we got to see his first attempt at being the musician, playing in the park, and throughout this show, his career starts to enlarge, and it's really cool. So yes, I do like this episode. At first, I didn't know what to make of it. I'm like, is this really what they're going to make him be? Kind of like just the punk kid that won't talk to anybody. And no, they kind of had him reserved like that. But through time, he does change and he opens up and he is a star. I think that's actually pretty cool looking back how they kind of paint the picture of these characters initially and then develop them through the show. It's nice, man. Episode 8, Unexpected Guest. I remember of the first few episodes that came out, this was one of my favorites. The Rangers defeat Sporix Beast Doomsnake, only for another Sporix Beast Wolfgang to destroy their Megazord. While the Rangers discuss their situation, Mechanic drops in and asks for help in his search for the Ninja Nexus Prism. When Zato declines, Mick searches Pine Ridge for the Prism, but ends up running into Wolfgang. Arriving at the scene, the Rangers engage the Beast and rescue Mick. After he explains his adventures and mission, Zato agrees to help Mick find the Prism. Locating it at the waterfront, Zato discovers its origins before Boomtower and Wolfgang attack. The Rangers are nearly defeated until Mick develops a special formula to negate Wolfgang's powers. Despite this, Wolfgang and Boomtower enlarge, forcing the Rangers to summon their Zords to defeat them, with Mucus claiming Wolfgang's Sporix and Izzy reclaiming Boomtower's. Afterwards, Zato apologizes to Mick, while Void Knight struggles to revive his wife Santoro, who is in a stasis chamber connected to his machine. This was a fun one. You got to see more about the girl in the tube. You got to see Mick, and you got to see the Nexus Prism. It was pretty awesome, man. I liked this one. It was the beginning to putting everything together. The Morphin Masters, man, I absolutely loved that episode. The only thing I don't think I liked was maybe the Red Ranger kind of being a jerk to Mick, because like, you're an alien and you don't believe that. It was a little weird. Especially a few episodes later, you'll see why I'm a little, thrown off about it, but we'll talk about that. Cut off is episode 9. The Rangers go to the woods for a camping trip, but Ollie brings gadgets that serve no useful purpose. Discovering their campsite, Void Knight, Mucus, and Sporix Beast Rustafa launch a disruptor into the sky to disable the Rangers' technology and cut them off from the city so the villains can search for unhatched Sporix in peace. While Ollie stays behind, believing he can use his gadgets to destroy the disruptor, the others attempt to hike back to the city, but end up traveling in circles and hiking back to their campsite. Working together, the Rangers destroy the disruptor and teleport to the city. They defeat the Sporix Beast with the Dino Fury Megazord and claim the Sporix, but Void Knight escapes with 3 unhatched Sporix he found. Now, this is one that we got to see that Ollie is smart, and when he puts his brain together, he is like a little Billy out there. Not much more than that. It was a good episode. Some of these Nickelodeon episodes in season 1 weren't as good as really what they were able to do in Netflix. Not like they were bad. It was just something, but they were still building though, and they were kind of painting the picture for what is to happen in the next season. Speaking of, painting the picture what happens in next season, episode 10 is Phoning Home. Mucus creates a new robotic general named Slither, a master illusionist who can disguise himself as one, before Void Knight orders him to infiltrate the Rangers' base and retrieve their Sporix. Meanwhile, Zato sends another message to Ravcon, hoping for a response. Witnessing the attempt from afar, Slither disguises himself as a Ravconian named Aria and appears before the Rangers, claiming she came to investigate Zato's signal and that Ravconian technology has developed to the point where they can destroy Sporix. Knowing that the last claim is impossible, a concerned Solon refuses Araya's access to the Rangers' Sporix, but an excited Zato refuses to listen. As Void Knight lures the Rangers away from Dino Hens, a suspicious Solon exposes Slither but subdues her. When the Rangers return, Araya offers to help Zato find Solon, but he discovers Slither's identity before assembling with his team to defeat him, forcing Slither to retreat afterward. Zato reconciles with Solon. I actually really like this episode, guys. Solon came up big in this episode. She was like Mama Bear, and what I didn't get is, Zato was so hard in believing Mick, but then he wanted to believe that this girl was a Ravconian just like that. And I liked the lesson of the day. Don't believe everything you see. Some people are kind of snakes out there. If it sounds too good to be true and, it doesn't make a lot of sense, it probably is. And that was this situation. This was a great one. I loved seeing Solon kind of put some dirty work in. And she even teleports out the base and kind of fights for a second. This was a good episode. One of my favorite of season 1. McScary Manor is episode 11. Now, Pop Amelia's grandfather is going to clean an old mansion, but flees after hearing strange noises. Believing it is haunted, he tells Amelia, who investigates, only to discover Sporix Beast's tombstress inside. She calls the other Rangers, but the Beast uses her ability to temporarily heighten victims' emotions on them and escapes with Mucus's help. Under Tombstress's effects, an angry Amelia ruins Pop's efforts to find the mansion's keys. Though he finds the blazing Dino Knight key inside, relieved of the monster's effects and transforming into a Ranger form, Amelia follows him inside, where he tells her a great secret regarding her missing parents before handing the key to her. She later uses it to awaken the Blazing Zord and combine it with the T-Rex Champion Zord to form the T-Rex Blazing Megazord and defeat Tombstress before reconciling with Pop Pop. This was a good episode. We got to first find out about what happened to Amelia's parents, or just a few small lines about it, that we found out that they disappeared in, a really crazy event at Area 62. That's all we really found out. Then we got into episode 12, Super Hot Shot. This is not a bad episode, and I appreciate it because it was kind of the lesson of the day, but you got to see the character growth of Izzy. Let's get into it. Izzy learns of a new gym and convinces Carlos to let her try the free trial despite the expensive membership. Zato accompanies her to the gym where they encounter Coach Bella and Izzy's friend Fern and Adrian. Following their first session, however, Bella forces Adrian to trade his watch to pay for a mandatory uniform. Meanwhile, Slither and Mucus hack a cell tower to interrupt the Ranger hotline, though which Slither finds an unhatched Sporix and escapes with it despite the Ranger's interference. Izzy and Zato return to Bella's gym, but he becomes suspicious after overhearing Bella brown-nosing her clients. Izzy is uncertain, but later realizing the gym is a get-rich-quick scheme and buys Adrian's watch back. On her way out, Izzy learns Carlos discovered a Sporix beast and called the hotline, but Solon never received the call. She and Javi discover Slither, Mucus, Sporix Beast, Fog Shell, and their plot before destroying the villain's hacking device with their friend's help, forcing the villains to retreat. Afterwards, Izzy returns Adrian's watch and exposes Bella's scheme to her clients. Like I said, lesson of the day, but you got to see more of Fern. You got to see this new character, Adrian, who's only going to be in the show for a few episodes, but it's cool. We got to see him. And it was a character development episode for Izzy, getting to see more of her. And speaking of Izzy, this next episode is really about her too. Episode 13, The Matchmaker. Javi notices Izzy has been in a good mood lately, and assuming she has a crush on Adrian, she sets them up on a date without telling Izzy. However, a disguised Slither recruits Fog Shell to distract the Rangers while he kidnaps Adrian and assumes his form in the hopes of kidnapping Izzy. Later, Javi gets Izzy and the disguised Slither to come to the place and leaves them alone. Believing Javi's assumption, Slither lures her to the secluded location and nearly succeeds, but Izzy escapes. At Dino Henge, she scolds Javi for meddling with her life behind her back before he calls Adrian. Slither answers and demands he brings the Ranger's Sporix in exchange for Adrian. The Rangers use the double Dino key to create a fake version of the Sporix chest, which Mucus takes before the Rangers use their own disguises to ambush Slither into a retreat and rescue Adrian. Fog Shell enlarges, but Zato uses the T-Rex Blazing Megazord to defeat him so Izzy can reclaim his Sporix. Afterwards, an angered Void Knight discovers the Rangers' deception while Javi reconciles with Izzy and Adrian before realizes she is dating Fern. Yes, Javi messed that one up. This was actually a really cool episode, and I know that a lot of people really appreciated this because Izzy has a girlfriend. She is the first Power Ranger member in the LGBTQ community. I think it's pretty cool, and if you're a hater, man, grow up. They didn't do anything crazy to this character. They don't have her making out with Fern. It's actually done in a really good way. I'm not a hater. I can appreciate it. You should too. Let's get into it. Old Foes, episode 14. Void Knight joins forces with Regal, who has revived Lord Zed and enslaved him via a compliance collar to gain more Sporix. Meanwhile, Ali boasts that he is not afraid of anything, so the Rangers bet that they can scare him once they make a haunted forest trail for him. After sending him off, however, the Rangers are captured by Void Knight, Regal, and Zed. When Ollie encounters revived Sporix beasts, he overcomes them before facing Zed, but a concerned Solon teleports Ollie away for fear of Zed's power. Looking into Zed and the legendary Ranger database, Ollie recognizes Zed's collar before facing him once more and destroying it. Incensed by what Regal did to him, Zed attacks Regal, but he flees. Zed battles the Rangers instead, only to escape himself upon realizing he does not have his staff. While Void Knight imprisons Regal for failing him, Ollie realizes his greatest fear is losing his friends before heading to a Halloween party with them. This was an insane episode. When they brought back Lord Zed, I'm like, oh my god, anything is possible now. The legendary Ranger database really comes in handy, and that was from Mick a few episodes before this. All these episodes are connecting, and I love it. Now that Lord Zed is back, things get pretty nuts. Episode 14 is Storm Surge. After Jane tasks Javi with covering a strange storm over Pine Ridge Bay, Ollie promises to help by letting Javi interview him. To his annoyance, Ollie finds Dr. Rakana searching for the storm using an outdated laptop, while Slither and Mucus secretly observe. When a Sporix beast called Tidemere attacks, the Rangers mobilize to fight him, but he overpowers them before retreating. Ollie and Javi return to Buzzblast for their story until a disguised Slither tricks Ollie into winning a new laptop. Using the new laptop and a ROV, Javi, Ollie, and Dr. Akana locate the storm's source, a stasis pod, but Slither hacks the laptop in order to retrieve it for Void Knight. With Solon's help, the Rangers uncover Slither's plot, but Tidemere defeats them. Slither and Mucus retrieve the pod, but the original Gold Ranger Ion emerges from it and defeats Tidemere. As a dumbfounded Zato brings Tidemere's Sporix back to Dino Henge, the Rangers regroup with Dr. Akana, and Ollie apologizes to Javi for abandoning him. This was classic Ollie kind of being a dick episode. We got to see Ion for like a second, and then we really get to hear more about Ion in the next episode, and that's called Ancient History, episode 16. Returning to Dino Henge, Ion reveals he was separated from Zato and their original team, warned of Zed's return by the Green Morphin Master before he was put in stasis, and the Ravkonians created the Sporix to protect him. All except Zato are glad to have a new Ranger, but Ion refuses to join unless he is named leader because he holds a grudge against Zato, who refused to warn his superiors about the Sporix hazardous properties and stopped Ion from destroying the Sporix before it was too late. Zato attempts to explain himself, but the Rangers learn Mucus is attacking the port. They arrive to stop her, but Zato is incapacitated by a string of bad luck. Ion easily defeats Mucus, but Slither escapes with boat parts, which he later uses to build a robot named Wreckmate. In order to destroy Ion's Zord, a doubtful Zato allows Ion to lead the others in stopping an enlarged Wreckmate. But Ion soon realizes being a leader is harder than he thought. He reconciles with Zato and joins them in reactivating the Moza Razor Zord so they can seemingly destroy Wreckmate before handing leadership duties back to Zato. This was a good episode. I really liked how Ion came in like, I want to be the leader. He's lying to you. It was really cool. That does not happen to a Red Ranger very often. Then we got episode 17, Our Hero. As the Rangers help Ion acclimate to Earth, they are forced to fight a Sporix beast called Trawler. However, Ion gets distracted, showing off for Buzzblast, and gets the other Rangers captured. He eventually rescues them before Mucus teleports Trawler away to recruit him into Void Knight's fold. Taking inspiration from Ion's showboating, Slither and Trawler set up a beach party in the Rangers' honor. The Rangers are suspicious, but Ion falls for it and is tricked into summoning the Moza Razor Zord, which Trawler captures so Slither can hypnotize it into obeying Void Knight. After helping Ion realize his mistake, the Rangers battle Trawler while Javi and Ion rescue the Zord. When Trawler enlarges, Ion combines the Moza Razor and Blazing Zords to form the Electro Zord to help his friends defeat the beast and reclaim his Sporix. This was pretty cool. I actually liked this episode. We got to see that the Gold Ranger is just like a big kid, and he is not the leader of this team, but he is powerful, but he is very gullible, and he doesn't understand everything yet, but he will get there. Let's get into the next episode. Episode 18, Crossed Wires. Despite failing in her electronics class, Izzy claims the opposite to her friends before the Rangers are called to the park after several people are found lying unconscious due to a Sporix Beast attack at the chemical plant. Zato, Ollie, and Amelia break off while the others stay behind to protect the victims. Both parties find a sleep bomb, with Ollie disarming and recovering his before he, Zato, and Amelia defeat the Sporix Beast, protecting it, Stone Rad, and reclaim his Sporix. However, Izzy fails to disarm hers and causes Ion and Javi to fall asleep despite awaking the victims. Upon regrouping at Dinohenge, Izzy confesses her mistake, though Solon and Izzy help her reconfigure Ollie's sleep bomb to wake Javi and Ion. The Rangers form an Ultra Zord to defeat them while Izzy successfully disarms the sleep bombs, though Mucus steals the brothers' Sporix. This was pretty cool, man. I liked this episode. It was more focusing on Izzy again. I liked how they really built this character up in the first season. I like it. Let's get into episode 19, the makeover. After learning Pop is going on a date, an overexcited Amelia gives him a makeover. Meanwhile, Void Knight learns the Pine Ridge Museum acquired a pirate treasure. After learning Pop is going on a date, an overexcited Amelia gives him a makeover. Meanwhile, Void Knight learns the Pine Ridge Museum acquired a pirate chest that potentially contains Tailmans he can use to power his machine, and tasks Sporix Beast Bone Switch with stealing them. The Rangers mobilize to stop the beast, who discovers the chest is empty and destroys it before body swapping all but Izzy and Ion. Failing to morph, the affected Rangers are forced to retreat while Ion and Izzy drive Bone Switch into doing the same. Due to what happened to them, Amelia convinces a doubtful Zato to help Pop for her. But the date goes awry until Zato tells Pop to be himself. Solon hypnotizes the Rangers' energies were switched to, and they need to use each other's Ranger keys. Learning Bone Switch has returned, the Rangers successfully prove her theory before reversing Bone Switch's effects and defeating him. Though Void Knight claims his Sporix following this, Amelia apologizes to Pop and he rebuilds the chest and discovers it contains a map leading to 2 new Dino keys buried under Dinohenge. I absolutely love this. We're getting to the last 3 episodes of season 1 and these were fun. Walking nightmares, Ion and Zato experience nightmares about their final battle with their original team. The next morning, the Rangers and Dr. O'Connor unearth the light and shadow battle keys before joining Solon in relocating the corresponding Zords. When she finds them on the planet Nibiru, Ion uses the keys to open a portal to the planet. but it proves unstable and closes after Zato enters and is attacked by apparitions of his fallen teammates. After Dr. Akana contacts the Rangers to reveal she has built an energy conductor to tap into the morphing grid via Dinohenge, an inspired Ion uses Dinohenge to power the keys and pursue Zato. Meanwhile, Void Knight's group secretly watches from afar, realizing they can use the morphing grid instead of Sporix and free Regal to revive Boom Tower. Now, Boom Tower and Mucus attack the city, forcing the remaining Rangers to stop them. Ion and Zato recognize the apparitions as their nightmares giving physical form and use their good memories to pacify them, passing the Guardian's test and receiving the Light and Shadow Raptor Zords before returning to Earth to defeat Boom Tower. Following this, however, Solon informs the Rangers that Void Knight stole Dr. Akana's equipment. Things are about to get nuts. This is episode 21, Void Trap. This is basically the season finale. As the Rangers deduce Void Knight's plan, they realize he does not have Dr. Akana's capacitor and ask her to help them give him a sabotage one, which Ali reluctantly allows. Meanwhile, Regal resurrects Boom Tower once more as Void Knight discovers the missing capacitor and send his minions to kidnap Dr. Akana. The Rangers' plan succeeds, but Regal sends himself, Slither, Mucus, and Dr. Akana to another dimension. Zato summons and combines the T-Rex and Raptor Zords to form the T-Rex Cosmic Megazord and pursue them, while the Rangers defeat Boom Tower. Despite succeeding in destroying Regal and rescuing Dr. Akana, Void Knight captures all of the Rangers except for Ali and connects them to Dr. Akana's equipment, Santora's pod, and Dinohenge to access the morphing grid. Against Ali's concerns, Dr. Akana distracts Void Knight so Ali can destroy Dinohenge. He actually destroys the Rangers' connection to the morphing grid and exposes their identities. After getting Dr. Akana to safety, the Rangers fight Void Knight before destroying his machine, seemingly killing him. Suddenly, the Green Morphin Master destroys their Ranger powers in preparation for a new threat. That was pretty cool when we got to see the Green Morphin Master come down. Now, episode 22 is the Christmas episode, but we'll still kind of talk about it. After escaping Regal's dimension and learning of Void Knight's fate, Slither and Mucus seek revenge by giving Javi a bomb disguised as a tree topper. Meanwhile, Javi struggles to find a Christmas present for Solon and tells his friends who leave to help him while he stays at Dinohenge to read Christmas cards with Solon. However, he unknowingly opens a booby trap card that disables Dinohenge and activates the bomb. He and Solon open the gifts, believing the bomb is hidden amongst them, but fail to find it. They realize it is the tree topper. With seconds left, she puts the bomb in their Sporix chest, which safely contains the explosion and restores Dinohenge's power. Concurrently, Santa Claus asks the Rangers for help when its magic sketchbook goes missing. They encounter Slither and Mucus, who use the book to create monsters to fight the Rangers. Though they summon their monsters to destroy them and the sketchbook, with the villains foiled, the Rangers have a gift exchange at Dinohenge, where Javi gives Solon a songbook to help her learn Christmas carols. I actually like this Christmas special. It didn't seem as forced as the other Christmas specials, even though they are kind of forced if you think about it. Slither and Mucus kind of got to have their own little special show because there were no other villains available. So yes, I did like this. Now let's get into season 2. Things get pretty crazy, as you guys know. Episode 1, is called Numero Uno. Amelia struggles with fulfilling her ranger duties and helping Jane and Jayborg with a new video while the rangers try to locate Rafcon. Meanwhile, Slither and Mucus receive word that Void Knight is alive from Spork's beast Bitscream, who attacks the Rangers and steals their Fix-It Dino key. Suspecting Void Knight may still be alive, the Rangers re-examine security footage of Bitscream and a disguised Slither. Realizing Bitscream was spying on them all along, the team attempts to destroy Void Knight's sword. But Amelia gets distracted by her job and the plan fails. As such, Zato forms the T-Rex Cosmic Megazord to defeat them, while the others drive out the enemy, though Void Knight makes off with Bitscream Sporks. Afterwards, Amelia learns that Jane and Jayborg's footage was destroyed, leaving her free to focus on ranger duties while Void Knight repairs his armor and resumes his plans. Void Knight is back. I knew he wasn't dead, man. There was a lot of fans that were like, oh, Void Knight's dead. I'm like, no, he cannot be dead. He's got to be back. Now, episode 2, The Festival. Having survived his previous encounter with the Rangers, Wreckmate returns to Void Knight and competes with Slither to see who can defeat the most Rangers, with Wreckmate stealing a potion from Slither to help accomplish this. Meanwhile, the Rangers are celebrating the Triple Sun Festival, a Rafconian holiday, in which Ion receives a motorcycle, while Zato receives Dino Chucks. However, as the others leave to cook for the event, Ion secretly plays with the weapon and breaks it, allowing Wreckmate to defeat them in battle later on. The Rangers check the legendary Ranger database for inspiration for a new weapon, but are short on supplies to make one. Ion, making good on his earlier mistake, offers his bike, which Zato and Solon turn into the Dino Fury cycle, which Zato uses to defeat Wreckmate once more, forcing the enemy to retreat. Afterwards, the Rangers assume their festivities. This was actually a really cool episode. You got some Ranger history. You got to see like the Wild Forest Rangers on their cycles. You got to see the Shark cycles, the Mighty Morphin. You got to see the Dino Fury cycle, but then you got to see your first clue that Amelia is an alien was in this episode. I appreciate this episode. And now let's get into episode 3, Missing Pieces. A Sporix beast named Akulo joins Void Knight's group in finding the remaining Sporix while the Rangers continue searching for Rafcon. When Izzy and Javi find a Sporix, they are beaten to it by Akulo, who overpowers and outwits them both and falters the Rangers' memories with an amulet. When the Rangers return, Solon suspects that their memories were tampered with and tries to fix them, but the others decline her help. Meanwhile, Zato heads off to find Rafcon and the T-Rex Cosmic Megazord, but only finds a beacon in space. Back on Earth, Akulo strikes again with the remaining Rangers heading out to engage him while trying to call Zato back to Earth. After being rejoined with Zato, who restores his comrades' memories, the Rangers engage Akulio, Mucus, and Slither, but Void Knight overpowers them all and leaves them with a huge stash of Sporix. Afterwards, the Rangers reconcile with Solon and resume their investigation surrounding Rafcon, while Void Knight demands his group to accelerate his plan's progress. Yes, things are starting to get a little crazy, and let's get into Tiny Trouble episode 4. While searching for more Sporix, the Sporix beast, Akuro stumbles across the Rangers finding a tiny Zord amidst training practice. Upon learning of Akuro's discovery, Void Knight orders him and Wreckmate to take the Zord hostage in exchange for the Rangers' Sporix. In ensuing chaos, the Zord runs away, forcing Ion and Ollie to try to find it. In the process, Solon discovers the Zord is actually the offspring of the Pack-a Smash Zord. The two Rangers find it at a cliff before enlarging and freeing it, while the remaining Rangers struggle against the monsters. Ion enters the battle and engages an enlarged Wreckmate in his Megazord, but is overpowered. Meanwhile, Ollie uses the Dino Smash Key to defeat Wreckmate and free his comrades. The united team summon and use their Megazords along with the Pack-a Smash Zord to destroy Akulo. But Void Knight reclaims his Sporix. Afterwards, a humbled Ion promises to be more receptive to advice, while Void Knight receives enough power to activate his machine and revive Santora. Void Knight, real name Tarek, tends to Santora, intending to leave Earth with her after she recovers. Meanwhile, Fern and Izzy prepare for their school's prom. Izzy gets a dress, much to her disgust, and dumps it when a Sporix beast named Junkalo launches an assault on the city's dumps. The Rangers gather to fight him, but are overwhelmed by his stench. Izzy discovers her mother accidentally gave her Fern's dress, which Javi finds at the dumps, now ruined. Izzy explains the situation to her mother, but her mother forgives her, and the two decide to make a new dress for Fern. When Tarek sends Junkalo to fight the Rangers again, the Rangers summon their Zords to defeat him and claims his Sporix. Unwile that Tarek has obtained the materials and data he needs for his new invention, the Zord Jammer. Days later, Fern and Izzy head off to prom when Izzy's friends are there escorting them. I thought that was pretty cool. They step out in the limo. It was a good time. Very good episode, man. The Green Ranger really does get a lot of spotlight when you look at this. Now let's get into episode 6, Jam Session. Santora pulls a Sporix from Tarek's machine and asks him to use it to gain more power, but he refuses. He starts to return the Sporix, but Doomsnake rehashes from it. As Slither finishes building the Zord Jammer, Tarek attacks him and Doomsnake with fighting the Rangers. Meanwhile, Javi realizes the leader of his favorite band, Blair, has the Freeze Dino Key, which Zeta reviews can help them locate the missing Terra Freeze Zord. The Rangers are called to fight Tarek and Doomsnake, but when Slither activates the Zord Jammer and the Rangers fail to summon their Zords, Ollie forces the villains to retreat, while the Rangers regroup to find the Terra Freeze Zord. Javi returns to Blair and asks for the key, but Blair refuses unless Javi serves as the replacement guitarist for an upcoming show. Javi agrees and gets the key despite pissing off his father, and they later reconcile. Together, the Rangers find the Terra Freeze Zord, fight off Tarek's forces, defeat Doomsnake, reclaim his Sporix, and destroy the Zord Jammer. Now, Santora fuses herself with a Sporix and transforms into Void Queen. This is where things start to get really insane, guys. Episode 7 of Season 2, New Leaf. Void Queen initiates her plan to enact revenge on humanity, summoning Sporix Beast Squash Blight for the task. Meanwhile, Ollie encounters his school professor, Drake Floyd, but he belittles Amelia's magnet bracelet, causing Floyd to call him out on his rudeness. Squash Blight begins his rampage, turning people into trees by poisoning Pine Ridge's water supply and repelling the Rangers' assaults. While developing an antidote, Solon falls victim to Squash Blight's venom. Ollie ignores Amelia's warnings as Void Queen abuses Tarek. Amelia uses her invention to complete the antidote and cures Solon just as Squash Blight resumes his attack. Accompanied by Wreckmate, the Rangers attempt to engage both villains but are overpowered until Tarek arrives and tells them that Squash Blight is susceptible to darkness as the Sporix beast enlarges. The Rangers form the Terra Smash Ultrazord and knock Squash Blight into a thunderstorm to defeat him and claim his Sporix while Zato cures the victims. Afterwards, Ali apologizes to Floyd for his flippancy, while his friends struggle to determine why Tarek helped them. So this was a very good episode. A lot of character growth. Ali is starting to kind of turn the corner and become less of an asshole, even though in this episode he's a big asshole. Tarek is going to start to become good. This is fun. Let's get into episode 8, Serious Business. Upon learning of Tarek's actions, an angry Santara summons Sporix Beast Track and Slash to find him. Meanwhile, a disguised Tarek heads to Buzzblast and overhears the Rangers discussing his trustworthiness. Upon learning of Tarek's actions, an angry Santara summons Sporix Beast Track and Slash to find him. Meanwhile, a disguised Tarek heads to Buzzblast and overhears the Rangers discussing his trustworthiness, with Zato believing he cannot be trusted just as Buzzblast is attacked by a hacker demanding their own show. The Rangers start to investigate when Solon warns them of Track and Slash's arrival. As they head out to engage him, he overwhelms the Rangers, but Santoro reminds him to focus on his mission, and Track and Slash obeys. Returning to their investigation, the Rangers eventually locate the tracker, a little girl named Mara who admits that she has always wanted to be on Buzzblast but is too young. Ion convinces her not to waste her talents on criminal pursuits and apologize to everyone at Buzzblast. Later, the Rangers re-encounter Track and Slash, but he overpowers them once more until Tarek arrives to help Zato defeat the beast and reclaim his Sporix. The Rangers are still distrustful of Tarek, who says he does not want the Sporix anymore and promises that he will attempt to recover the ones that he stole to prove it. Now, this is pretty cool. I really like this episode. We get to see Tarek start to become that anti-hero, that good guy. Let's get into episode 9, The Hunt. Void Queen builds a new robotic general, Snag Eye, to capture the Rangers while Tarek unsuccessfully tries to steal more Sporix. Meanwhile, Amelia begins investigating a supposed ghost sighting when Solon calls the Rangers to the warehouse district. They meet Tarek, who explains Void Queen's plans, her new general, and her new origins, before offering to help them defeat her. Though a skeptical Zato refuses, the Rangers return to find the ghost when Snag Eye attacks, trapping Izzy, Amelia, Ali, and Ion in a pocket dimension, while Zato and Javi retreat to discuss Tarek. When the two meet him again, Snag Eye traps the remaining Rangers, but Zato telepathically sees Tarek fighting Snag Eye and witnesses Tarek's heroism just as Tarek frees him and hands him the Dino Knight Morpher and its accompanying key. With the new equipment in hand, Zato assumes his new Dino Knight form, destroys Snag Eye, and frees his comrades. But Void Queen captures Tarek. Afterwards, the Rangers ponder Tarek's change of heart and Void Queen's plans, while Zato notes that people can change and the ghost is revealed to be a drone in a tarp. This was tight, man. I loved this episode. That Dino Knight mode was so sick. Let's get into episode 10 of season 2. While cycling through the forest, Ion and Izzy stumble across a truck from Area 62 and a case containing a strange collar and wads of cash. They argue over what to do with the money while Void Queen summons Flapnarok. Using the collar mucus found, Flapnarok enlarges and overpowers the Rangers and their Megazords. Meanwhile, Ion goes on a shopping spree when he meets an old man who reveals he lost his disco shirt and gives him advice about genuine happiness and honesty. Inspired by this, Ion hands his shirt to the man and gives away his products for free, while others discuss forming the Primal Ultra Zord, a dangerous Zord combination which killed Ion and Zeto's original comrades in the past. Ion and the Rangers regroup to complete adjustments to the Ultra Zord just as Flapnarok strikes again. In response, the Rangers deploy and form the Primal Ultra Zord to defeat the monster. Afterwards, Izzy and Ion reconciled. Episode 11, The Copycat. Ion enters Buzz Blast's song competition, but is forced to make a new song after Blair steals his original one. Meanwhile, Void Queen brainwashes Tarek to her side, transforms him into Void Queen, and sends him into the city stadium to cause chaos. The Rangers head out to engage the new enemy, but are overpowered, with all but Javi and Zeto getting injured. Back at Dinohenge, they discuss Void Knight's tactic of copying their moves and train against each other to find a weakness. Discovering the Dino Knight's Morpher's finisher can only be used once per transformation. Just then, Void Knight resumes his attack, with Zeto accessing his Dino Knight form to engage him solo. Using what he learned from training, Zeto defeats Void King, forcing the latter to retreat. Afterwards, the other four Rangers show signs of recovery, and Javi uses the electric guitar, harmonica, and keytar for his song, winning the competition. This was my favorite song of the show, Spotlight. I love that one. That's a banger. Then we go on to episode 12, Ultimate Mystery. During an interview, Amelia and two of her Buzz Blast colleagues receive word about a surprised Bigfoot sighting. She tries to tell Fairview about her find, but is turned down, causing the three to investigate Bigfoot themselves. Just then, Solon assembles the Rangers and reveals that General Shaw contacted them to warn of a potential breakout in Grid Battle Force. The Rangers are deployed to fight a monster that arrived at Pine Ridge, but are overpowered by the enemy, who introduces herself as Lothorn, Lokar's nephew. Returning to base, the Rangers struggle to determine Lokar's purpose, while Amelia's colleagues find Lokar destroying Dinohenge's statues. The Rangers scramble to save the civilians before engaging an enlarged Lothorn, summoning their Zords to help destroy the monster. Afterwards, Amelia apologizes to Jane, while Commander Shaw reveals Scrozzle had been freed and Lord Zed was the mastermind behind the breakout. Ooh, these episodes are starting to get real good, guys. Then we get into episode 13, Love Hate on Valentine's Day. Ollie intends to ask Amelia to be his Valentine, but a misunderstanding ensues between them. Meanwhile, having reclaimed his staff, Zed returns to Area 62 with Scrozzle and robotic ally Scissorai, claiming he wants to serve an alliance with Void King and Void Queen to conquer Earth. Using data he preserved from Boom Tower and Snag Eye, Void King tasks Scrozzle with building upgraded versions to aid them. While they wait, Zed and Scissorai attack the Rangers, with the latter brainwashing Ollie to make him collect information on Rafcon. As Solon alerts the Rangers to Zed's return, the Rangers mobilize to stop him, only to face Void King, new General Boom Blaster, and Ollie. The Rangers use the Snooze Dino Key to put Ollie to sleep and bring him back to Dinohenge so Solon can cure him, while Zeto and Amelia hold off their enemies until Boom Blaster leaves to help Zed. As he and Void Queen learn Zed betrayed them and left Earth with the robots they built him, the Rangers and Solon awaken Ollie, who reconciles with Amelia before Zato uses his telepathy on him to discover Lord Zed's plot to reach Rafcon. This is where things get nuts. This is where we find out that Amelia and Ollie are a couple. Great episode, man. Episode 14, Rafcon revealed. With the information Zato received, the Rangers finally pinpoint Rafcon's location to stop Zed. While the Rangers head off, Zed and his minions scour the planet for the Sporix generator, intending to use it to create their own army of Sporix beasts. Upon arriving and eager to fulfill his duty, Ion launches an attack on Zed, his new robotic general Nulai, and the rest of their crew, only for Zato to call him out on his lack of teamwork afterwards. The Rangers continue searching for the Sporix generator using information they overheard from Zed and his generals earlier. However, the team is ambushed by the villains after finding the generator. In the ensuing battle, Zato destroys Scissorai while Zed and Scrozzle work on the machine. Ion tries to engage Zed but is overpowered, with Zato getting injured trying to protect him. With Zato and Ion incapacitated, the Rangers are concerned by Zed before they are suddenly teleported out of the fight. Back at Dino, Ion realizes that his actions cost the Rangers the mission and Zato's health is in jeopardy. And that is when the Green Morphin Master appears to them, and then that goes right into episode 15, Morphin Master. The Green Morphin Master heals Zato before giving the Rangers a new weapon to fight Zed. However, the Blue Morphin Master stops her, warning her that she has intervened too many times. The Rangers return to Rafcon to stop Zed, who succeeds in stealing the Sporix generator and escaping. The Rangers narrowly escape themselves before Rafcon explodes and return to Earth to stop Zed. Over the course of the battle, Ion destroys Boom Blaster while Scrozzle, Nulai, and Void King escape. With Ion's help, the Green Morphin Master sacrifices herself to imprison Zed with her in a crystal and destroy the Sporix generator. Seeing the error of their ways, the red and blue Morphin Masters free her and take Zed away. Now, we've got just a few episodes left. Let's get into these. Wishful thinking. The Rangers fight Hexacuro, a Sporix beast capable of granting wishes. This was a fun episode because Javi gets more music time, more shine time. This was a fun episode. Episode 17 was called Things Unspoken. Izzy is keeping a secret from Fern. Meanwhile, Void Queen prepares her master plan and sends a Sporix beast named Quickspine. During the Rangers' fight with the monster, Fern confesses to the Green Ranger that she loves Izzy. She later discovers that Izzy is the Green Ranger, and they reconcile. Now things get pretty nuts, man. So you've got Guilt Trip. After a Sporix beast named Sugar Hit is sent to Japan, the Rangers pursue him. Along the way, however, Ollie neglects his mom to spend more time with Amelia and learns not to take his mother for granted. This was a good episode, but now things are going to get crazy. These last 4 episodes are like a 4-part finale. Bad vibes. Void Queen begins her master plan while Void King hypnotizes Izzy and Hobby to help them, while Nulai and a Sporix beast named Clawfair are sent to fight the remaining Rangers. Nulai is destroyed by Zato and Clawfair is defeated, but Void King succeeds in stealing the Rangers' Sporix chest. Things are about to go down, guys. Episode 20 is the invasion. The Rangers meet a group of Rafconians led by Araya, who intend to attack Earth under the belief that all humans are evil. Meanwhile, Void Queen releases all of the Sporix and initiates a wide-scale assault on Pine Ridge. forcing the Ravkonians and the Rangers to work together to fight them. Zato and Ion fight a Sporix beast named Crashflude to stop him from flooding Pine Ridge, while the others fight Wreckmate and other Sporix beasts. During the fight, Fogshell tries to attack Araya, but Pop defends her, getting injured in the process. As Araya changes her mind about humans, Pop discovers that Amelia is the Pink Ranger and admits that when he worked in Area 62, he encountered a pair of aliens who asked him to take care of an infant Amelia for him. So Amelia is an alien. That was crazy. And it goes right into the next episode, The Truth. As Amelia discovers that she is a Ravkonian, the other Ravkonians and Rangers defeat the Sporix. However, Void Queen uses the Sporix to create a cocoon. While the Rangers fight and destroy Wreckmate, Amelia travels to Area 62 to learn the truth about her parents. Slither attacks her, but the Rangers save her, forcing Slither to flee. Void King attacks them, but Amelia throws herself onto him and discovers he and Centaura are her parents. Void King reverts back to Tarek upon realizing this. Now, this is the final episode, guys. This is such craziness. We find out that Amelia is an alien. Her parents are Tarek and Centaura. Now let's get into the final episode, The Nemesis. Tarek uses the Dino Knight key to transform into Void Knight one last time and teleport the cocoon to the desert to prevent Pine Ridge's destruction. However, Void Queen uses the cocoon to create the Nemesis beast. As the Rangers take fight to her, Zato sacrifices the Zords to weaken the beast and disappears. Void Queen attempts to kill the remaining Rangers and Tarek, but Amelia appears to her better nature and reveals the truth, causing Void Queen to forego her revenge, destroying the Nemesis beast and reverting her back to Centaura. The Morphing Masters capture all but one of the Sporix in a crystal, unaware that Mucus went into hiding. 6 months later, the Ravkonians make Area 62 their new home. Pop and Amelia prepare Tarek and Centaura for the arrival of their new daughter. Mucus and Slither have taken on human disguises and begin running a circus together. Zato returns to warn his team that Zed has escaped. He calls on the team and they teleport. End of the season. This series was incredible, guys. I think this was the longest video I've ever put out. It's going to be over an hour long. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in, watching every episode review. This is it for Dino Fury. I've covered every single episode and then some. This is the entire series. I love you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you made it the whole video, you are the real MVP. I love you so much, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace. I want to give a big shout out to Gold Ranger member Dead Echo X-Ray. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this content, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. You can also become a member. Please join the fan club support team right now. We have a Blue Ranger power-up and a Gold Ranger power-up. This is an awesome way to talk with the fans. Join a fan club official chat group. You can also be featured in our videos. At the end of the videos, I will shout you out. That's if you get the Gold Ranger Power Up membership. Go check it out. Go support the fan club. We love you guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.